Hello, it's Jilly from Jilly's Creative Corner, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and this week I'm going to be showing you how to make it's like a fold out card. The first one I ever made was 5 years ago for my daughter's 32nd birthday. She lives in Australia, so she's many miles away from us, so I made her this as a little keepsake. So this is the project, and it's like a little book. So you just undo the ribbon. This one isn't decorated, this is just how the basic decoration I've done in this. So you open it up like this, and it opens like that, and then it all closes back together, and you tie it up with a ribbon. So when I get back to my desk, I will show you how to put this together, and I'll also show you how I decorated it. Whoever it's for, you just make it your own for that person, but I just wanted to show you how to put it together. And it's a bit different, and it's a really lovely project to do. So I will pop across to my desk and I will show you how to put this together and just do the basic decoration. When I finish mine, decorating mine, then I will show you how I did mine, but obviously, as I said, it's entirely up to you how you want to decorate yours. Okay, so thank you, and I'll see you in a minute back at my desk. So this is the project we're doing today. I think it's called a Swash book or Swash card. So if you just undo the ribbon, I haven't decorated mine yet, but this is just the basic Swash book, Swash card. So you undo the ribbon and then you lift it off this way, and it opens up like that. Now, when I said earlier that I made one for my daughter's 32nd birthday, so I actually made this into like a photo swash book as well. So I put on these big plain squares here, I put 4x4 photographs on these, and then these are 4x4, but they're split down the middle. So you can either put a small photograph in the box there, or you can decorate these bits if you want to, how you want to. You can also add some basic white, these are cut in half, and you can pop those on there as well, and so you can write sentiments or stamp. I've put design series paper over all the insides, and it folds up, so the middle two go in backwards, these two go in forwards, but I'll show you how to make that. And then you close it up with a ribbon. Then you can decorate the front if you want to. When I did Katie's, I put a 32 on the front, but it's however you want to decorate it. So I'm going to show you today how to make this, the basic one, and then I'm also going to show you in our new catalogue. So we've got sweets, and I'm going to be using this sweet, and it's called the Pansy Petal Sweet. In this sweet you get stamps, you get some lovely sentiments, so you've got a happy birthday and a thank you, and also you can use this stamp set for a little hello from me to you. So it's very versatile. And also what's really versatile is the dies. I've gone ahead and put through my cut and emboss machine all these so you can see how they make them, because some of the dies have got embossed in them as well, so you get the print of the centre of the flowers. So I'll just grab those so you can see. So there's 21 dies. I've done them in some different colours so you can just see. So here's one. So you can have that as the base, then that will sit on there. So that's the bottom of the pansy. And then this bit can sit over the top like that. So you can make up your flowers like that. So you can make them any colour you want, depending what colour cardstock you've got, because that was all done out of coloured cardstock. So you just glue all those together and that makes your pansy like that. That's the large pansy. We've also got leaves. So that leaf there is embossed. That die cuts the leaf out and embosses it. And then you have this one that can sit on the top. So it's got a lot more depth to it and texture to it. And then you've also got the smaller leaf, and it's got an outside as well, like that. That's those two. You've got stems, you've got short stems, you've got large stems. I've done doubles of these so you can see the different colours. So you could have a pansy like that as well. So that's made up. You've also got a flower like that. These have all got embossed bits in them. And then you've got little short stem flowers. So the dies are amazing. Then with the stamp set, I'll show you later how to do those. So it's like a 4-stage stamp. So that's the large one. So you stamp that one colour first, that one goes on top of that, that one goes on top again, and that one goes in the middle on top. And then you come out with that. And here's a different colour that I did. And there's another different colour. So I mixed up the colours. So you can make your own colours by using the stamp set. Still beautiful pansies, and the die cuts them out. That die there will cut them out. So that's another way of using this stamp set. Also, you have the leaves. So these leaves, that's the base leaf, and then you stamp that on top, so it looks like that, and that's the fatter one. So you can use, and again, this is what this one here, this framelets cuts out that leaf. So you've got the leaves, and then you've also got smaller pansies. They are in 3 steps. So the larger ones are in 4 steps, the smaller ones are in 3 steps, and these are the 2 samples I've done for you. I will show you later on how to actually put those together. I'm not going to decorate the whole card, but I am going to show you how to use these stamps to make them all pretty, the colour flowers that you want. So part of that suite, you also get, the whole suite is £65.25. That includes the stamp set and die set that I've just showed you, the bundle. It also includes this designer series paper, and all Stampin' Up! pattern paper, if you flip it over, on the back it tells you all the colours that these papers are compatible with. So it takes the difficultness out of matching. It's compatible with 9 colours cardstock that Stampin' Up hold, and also Whisper White. Not only can you make the flowers this way, also part of the designer series paper you have 2 lots of leaves, so you can use this framelit on the larger leaves, pop it on there, and you can use this framelit on the smaller leaves and run that through your cut and emboss or your big shot, whatever die cutting machine you have, and there's your leaves. No stamping involved, no fussy cutting, just cut them straight out from these. So that's, you've got 2 sheets of leaves and you have 2 sheets of pansies. Now I've cut a whole sheet out and you get all these. You get a lot. So that's going to make you a lot of cards. So I don't quite know how many I've got, but I bet you there's about 25 easily. A lot of the large ones and about the same amount of the small ones. So this one here cuts out the smaller one, and this one here cuts out the larger one. And you just pop that straight through your die cutting machine. So I think you'll agree there is so much versatility with this suite. And the last thing that actually comes with this suite is these beautiful little bumblebees. So if you, oh, they're so cute. So you can add those to your projects. See how many is in a pack. 20. Right, so what you need to make this project is 2 pieces of coaster board, and that is they both measure 5 inches by 5 inches. Then you need 2 pieces of the designer series paper, and they both measure 7 inches by 7 inches. Then you need 3 pieces of your chosen colour cardstock. I've chosen Fresh Freesia. So you need 3 pieces, and they measure 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. So that's an A4 sheet width in the UK, and then you just cut the length to 8 1/4, so you've got square. So you need 3 of those. So for decorating inside, if you're going to decorate it as I did, in total you need 10 pieces of designer series paper or pattern paper, whatever you like to call it. You need 10 pieces that are 4 inches by 4 inches. Then you keep 4 of them to one side because they will be used whole. The other 6 pieces you will cut in half diagonally, and when you've cut each one diagonally, keep the 2 pieces together because they're the pieces that marry up the same. I'm going to just show you how to cut these. So what you do is you bring in your, so I'm going to be using this side, so I'm going to bring this with this, the side I'm going to be using facing up. then you put it into your trimmer and you put that point there into the groove, the cutting groove, and this point here into the cutting groove down here. I bring my cutting blade down. I don't like doing it where you shut it down and then you bring that straight down, because sometimes it can buckle the corners. So I bring it down so it's sort of like halfway down, shut it. So I'm in there now. So I go up and then I come back down. And now we don't have any buckled corners. So I put those two together. And then if you are going to be using the basic white to put sentiments in, so if you think you're going to put them just in the middle here, you need 2 of the basic white. That measures 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So that's them together. So 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and do exactly the same as I've just shown you. Put them diagonally into your cutter. Take the cutter blade down, up and down, and then you've got your diagonal pieces. So now I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can use your trimmer with a scoring blade. I really love my scoreboard, so I always use that wherever possible. So you bring in and you do these identical. So these 3 pieces are done identical. So you bring them in and you score them at 4 1/8. Because it's cardstock, I'm going to use the thinner score end. Come in at 4 1/8 and score straight down. Turn round, exactly the same, 4 1/8. So you'll end up with that. Do that to all 3 pieces. You bring these back in, and just on one side, so you don't go both sides, just one side, you bring in your ruler. And you're going to go from that corner there to that corner there with your scorer, straight through the middle. Okay, so you have that. Only that way, because these are going to be the plain ones in the middle. And do that to all 3 of them. Right, so now we're going to burnish our score lines. So get our bone folder. Because you've done that without a score board, just want to make sure you've got your corners right. Okay, so you've got your score there. I'm just going to fold it back that way, so you know that it's all going to fold in nicely like that. So it folds in, so you've got it like that. Okay, so just fold it down. do that to all 3 pieces. So this is the last one. So what you want to do now is these all need to join. So you've got a square, a square. That square is going to be taped to that square there. Just go just slightly inside the score line, and then you're going to join that square there with that square there. So you've got one whole sheet like so. So you're going to put tape. If you're putting tape on the inside of this one and the outside of that one. So if you just keep this as your middle sheet, so this one's going to have tape here. So I'm just going to pop some tape along around the outside edges. So you want, that's the inside of that one, and then you're going to flip it over. So that one there, you want this one here, flip it over and put tape on the back of this one. So you've only got tape on the middle one. Okay, just flip that over for a minute now. So then you're going to bring in this one here, take the tape and peel the top of the tape. I mean, you can use liquid glue. I tend to use tape for these sort of things because it's going to be opened and closed quite a bit. So that's why I tend to use tape. I just find, in my head, I think it's stronger. So now I'm going to bring this in. I don't want to put it straight down. I just want to make sure that I've got all the edges where I want them to be. That one there, and flip this over and do exactly the same here. And this one here is going to do exactly the same. I'm going to put that into the corner there. So tie the score line there, and you've got all of them together. Okay, and turn it over, and just to make sure it's all folding right. So these in the middle, they fold down. So the middle ones fold down, and the top ones fold up. So you have that way there, you have that way there, like that, and now these ones, they fold down and down, like that, so you then have your book like that. Okay, so then when you open them, you open it from this side and it opens out like so. So this is the bottom, this is the top. just in case you didn't see that, if I hold it like that, you'll see the left. Oh, you will know that I don't know my left from my right. Right, so the right, these two pieces fold up. The left, these two pieces fold up. The middle, they fold in like so. So you've got it like a little pyramid at the top, and then these fold in like so, like that. And there's your book, like that. Now, you want it so that this corner here is like the bottom of your book. So this is going to be your top, because the open end is right down here by you. If you had it this way, then you've got the open end over there away from you, and then when you open it, it doesn't open properly. So you want it, the opening of the book, as if you were going to turn your page, is there, and then it opens like that. Okay. So what we're going to do now, we need to make the lid. So that bit there is all this here. Now we want to make this the lid, the top and the bottom. Okay, so I did change up the front, what I'm going to use for my front cover. I've decided that I didn't want to go as plain as the check, so I decided that I was going to go a bit more jazzy, more flowers. So this is your 7 by 7 2 pieces of, and then you turn it over to the outside and pop your piece of coaster board in sort of eyeball it so it's level-ish. You don't have to have it spot on, but it's sort of about 1 inch each round. And then I would bring in your scoring tool and just run along the outside edge, just giving you, so you've got a bit of a bend to help you start to cover it. And then just bring it up and over. And over. Your bit of coaster board out and then bring it in. Just fold it now without it in there. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this so well, but because of the colour. But see where the corner joins there, you've got the little corner bit there. So bring in your scissors and just cut. Not right across, you can always cut a bit more off. Don't go right into the corner yet, so just cut above the corner on all of it, and then we can check in and see if we need to take any more off afterwards. And do that on all the corners. just take, because that's folded in quite tight there, I'm just going to take a little bit more off that corner and that. And I think I'll just take a bit more off each of the corners. But as I said, it's easier to take a bit more off. It's not easy to put any back on. So only a slither. I wouldn't take too much off there. So you've got some nice corners going on there now. There. Okay, so you do that with both pieces. So that's that piece there. Then you bring this one in and do exactly the same. Hold the coaster board down tight so it doesn't move. Exactly the same. Fold that the same as you did before. So we get those little corners. And then do the same again. Cut it down. I think you get a bit braver with the second one, I think. So this is your second one, and you've cut off your corners now of your second one, so you've got some nice folds in there. So now you open that out. I come in with some tape. You could easily come in with your liquid glue, but because it's going to be opened and closed quite a bit, I do tend to prefer tape. So I'm going to put a line of tape on the actual coaster board right at the edge, so then that will grip onto there. Then I'm also going to be putting a line on there, so I've got it on there and there. So right at the edge of the coaster board. And then I'm also going to put a line of tape at the edge of the pattern paper. And the last piece. And you do exactly the same on the second, because this is the top. This is going to be the top of the book, and you do exactly the same on the other piece for the bottom of the book. I'm going to hold that in place now and take off this bit, and then I'm going to take off this bit so I can pop that down like so. Turn it round, just take this one off now, take this one off, and then take this one off, and then that's all you need. You don't need to cover this bit because the book is going to sit on there like that, so you're not going to see. In fact, it's going to sit on there like that. So if you've got directional paper, you need to make sure you've got it the right way up when you're sticking this bit in, which I'll just show you when we do that. But at the moment, that's your one, and you've just got to do the second one. There's your top and your bottom. So now you've got your back piece here, and you need to next put your ribbon on. So I'm just going to grab my ribbon scissors, and you need 24 inches of ribbon. So again, I use my grid paper, so it's 16. So that's 24 inches. You could probably get away with a little bit less, but and what you want to do then is fold it in half. And you want to put a line of tape. So again, this is 5 inches, so I will use my grid paper. Let me just see if you can see that. Okay, so I will use my grid paper, so I want it at 2.5, so it's halfway. And it's going to be approximate because you've got the width of the ribbon to take into account. So I'm just going to get my quarter of an inch tape, and I want it at about 2.5, which is that line there. Just put a line of tape on there, and then you've got your tape in half, so roughly about the middle, which again, if you've got grid paper, then you could put it in at 2.5. So it's about 2.5 there. Open that out like so. And then you are going to pop that to one side a second. So this is the front, this is the top, because this is where the opening is. You're going to flip it over, and we're going to put tape on the back here. I mean, you can use whatever glue you're comfortable with. I like tape. You know, this is going to be opened and closed quite a bit, so I like the security of tape. But if you've got other glues that you prefer, then you go with those. Just make sure that the tape only goes on the bottom bit, or the glue, whatever you're using, only goes on the bottom bit, not the extra layers. So you don't want it all stuck together when it should be opening up. This is just to put the bottom of the book part and bring this in. Take these off. before you put it down, make sure you've got this opening in the right place, bottom right hand corner, and then hover it over, don't put it down, hover it over so that it's roughly about ½ an inch all the way around, and then put it down. There you go. So then that's going to tie up around. So what you do now is you put, this is the top, so you put tape all around the top, and then you put your top piece down, and you just hover it first, but just you can eyeball whether it's the edges are pretty much the same before you actually drop it on. So I just put some tape. Then bring in your top. Just try and hold it down with your other fingers so that you've got it pretty level before you drop it on. A little bit up the top, but it'll be fine, you can't see. And then you so you can either tie it over at the side, the bow over to the side, so, and then you can decorate the front. And then to decorate it, so that's how I've decided to decorate mine. The other thing is you can add your, these are 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and they are cut down the middle. So you've got a nice bit of border on the outside. So you could probably just pop those in the middle if you wanted to. You could put them on all the squares if you wanted. You could put them in the middle. It's entirely up to you how, as I said, you know, whether you're going to make this into like a photo swash book card, or if you're going to make it into decorations with some sentiments and some photos. Up to you. So don't forget the middle 2 go down and the top 2 go up, and then they go together like so. So this is how I decorated mine. So on the front I used the pansies that I stamped myself and cut them out, and the leaves, and I put one little bumblebee on there, and I put all these flat. I didn't want anything bulky on there, especially with the ribbon that goes over the top. Okay, so I've made this with my mother-in-law in mind. So the photographs I've used are of all her 2 grandchildren and her great-grandson, who she hasn't actually met yet because our son lives in London with his family. So you open it up like this. So this is my daughter, Katie, when she was little. So that's my mother-in-law's, obviously, granddaughter. This is me with my grandson, and this is my husband with our grandson, I should say, not mine. So this would be my mother-in-law's great-grandson. This is my son as a baby, and this is Isra's daddy. So that's the photos I used. Then I stamped on this one here, I stamped happy birthday. Everything I've used was out of the suite, nothing else. No other stamp sets were used. So I've stamped happy birthday in different colours. This was another flower, a two-step flower. So I used that one there. This was the small pansies out of the DSP, the designer series paper, that the framelets cut out. So these were the small ones. These were the leaves. I think that I stamped those and then cut them out with a die. This is the big pansy, and you make it up with the little pieces. I will actually show you in a minute how to do that. This was the leaves that just had the embossed bit on. I didn't put the die, the cut out die bit that goes on the top on that one. And then there's this one that's like the leaf as a die, and then the little flower, and I've put Wink of Stella to make that shiny on there, and a little bee, and obviously I put a little bee there. On the middle ones, we will write, my husband will write for his mum there, and I will there. I've also, on this one, wishing you a little extra happiness just because you're you. That's part of the stamp set, and the little things you do make such a big difference. That is also part of the stamp set. That is the same, the two-step flower, the little flower. This is it cut out with its die and stamped, and I've put Wink of Stella on that as well with a little bee. Exactly the same there. And this here is a different colour combination of the large pansy, but these leaves are the embossed die underneath, and on top is another framelit that you sit on top, so it looks, it's like the leaf has got a lot of depth to it. So you can, there's so many pieces to this set that you can make it look in so many different ways. So that's how I did mine. I will quickly show you how to just put some of these together. There's lots of different ways, but how I put these together, I'll just quickly show you. So then obviously it goes back, the middle two here go down, these go up, goes down, these go up, like so, and then they fold down, and then you do up the ribbon. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in, so these are the 4 that you need for the large pansies. So the first one you do, it's a much smoother one. The second one you do is got areas that are more raised than others. The next one you do is a smooth area again, but a smaller one. And then the next one is like the little stems that go in the middle. There's actually a 5th step. So this little teeny weeny one here, you can put in the very centre. You could make that. So that's like 5 steps really. So if we just do a different colour one, so I'm going to do, this is the bumblebee one. So that's the first one. The second one I'm doing is cinnamon cider. as I said earlier, easy to line up. Third one. I'm going to stamp it off and pop it in like that. So that's a little bit lighter colour. And then I'm going to pop this one on, but I'm again going to stamp it off and do it in there like so. And then I'm going to get the bumblebee full colour. There's the middle. And there's your flower. So I think I like that colour better than that colour, but I was just wanting to show you that you could do any colour that matches the cardstock you're using. And again, grab the framelit, cut it out, and there's your flower. So that's it's 5-step actually, isn't it, with a little bit in the middle. Right, so we'll bring in the small ones. Now this is a very smooth one. So this is the one you do first. This would be your palest one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do it in one colour, but I'm going to stamp it off. So I'm going to pick up the colour on there, just stamp it gently off and then stamp it on there. And then I'm going to, same colour, but instead of stamping it off, I'm going to use the full colour for the next one. Then I'm going to again use the full colour for this one. And where you've got the little hole in there, it fits around the hole there, so you just make sure that the hole sits there. So you've got the extra bit in there, and then come in with the middle one, tiny middle one, pop that in the middle there. And there's your, so that's just using one colour. That was Fresh Freesia. That's just one colour, but the first one stamped off, the second one full colour, the third one full colour, and then the little middle bit in the pale papia. And again, you've got a framelit, this framelit here sits on there like that, and then you pop that through your cut and emboss machine or your Big Shot, whatever it is you've got, and then it'll come out like that, because it comes out with a little white border edge on it. And I didn't do the centres, so I'll probably just put the centre. So that's how they come cut out when you make your own. Just use these framelets and cut them out like that. So just one more thing to show you is the 2-stage leaves. So that one matches that one, this one. So there's a fatter one and a thinner one. So this is very smooth. So this is the one you do first, and this is the one. So I'm going to stamp it off and then stamp it on there, and then come in with this one, and I'm not going to stamp this one off. And again, it's very easy to, so there's your one leaf, and this is your taller one. Again, stamp that off. Do this full. That wasn't very good, was it? I'll just do that again, because I try not to get my head in the video. If you were doing it yourself, you'd put your head right down so you could see where you were Hopefully my head didn't get in the way. See, that's better. That was a bit squee-whiffed, that one. But so that's your larger leaf. So you can do two lots of leaves, and they come out like, again, you can cut them out, the framelet's there to cut them out. That's your fatter one, that's your thinner one there. So you can just see how versatile this bundle is. Well, actually the whole suite, because you've also got leaves that you can cut out with the framelets, as I showed you earlier on the DSP paper, Design Series paper. I use the whole suite to decorate mine. So I'm just very quickly, so if I just take, there's loads of bits I've cut out here, all different colour combinations. But what you do is, so you've got this one here. So the die cuts it out, but it also embosses it. So you've got all the little embossed bits on there. Then you can put some glue dots just around the edges, just fold them in. So they sit on there. Like so, you just pull them out so that they go right round. Then you put your glue dots on the bottom here, just on the bottom. You don't need any further up because that will stick under there, like so. Bring in this piece here, which you've got the circle embossed there, so that sits in the circle, like that there. I did it all with glue dots, so you glue dot that in, and then you have the little circle. So if you use the other end, you've got the glue picker upper. It's got like blue tack, and you can literally pick it up, put your glue on the base, and don't drop it. Okay, so I just pick that up. So any small pieces, obviously I've just placed this, I haven't glued it, but you're getting the idea that this is how, one of the ways you can make that up. And then this piece here goes in the middle here. So you make your flower up. Obviously that's not stuck, but that's how you would make your big large pansy up. And then your leaf. Okay, so I've cut out it in the wrong colour, but this is, just pretend this is green. So this is the leaf, it's got all the embossed bits on it. So this here is a separate die. You cut that out, and then you can put glue dots on the back in the middle there, and it fits exactly on there. So it adds some depth. If I just pick that up, that adds some depth to your leaf. That should be green, obviously, but I can't find the green one that I cut out. So that's some other ways to use the dies. You've also got pieces like this. Like this here, that sits on the top of here to make that a bigger depth on there. So you can have your flower like that as well. There's all sorts of ways to make up your flowers. And then I guess you put that down like that. Maybe close that up a little bit. So you can just add depth to all your flowers like that. Okay, so there's an awful lot of ways. I've got an awful lot cut out here. But as normal, I'll put all these in a little pot, and then when I want to make some more I need some more, I've got an awful lot of different colours all cut out. Okay, so that is the project this week. I really hope you like it. I hope you make some. I'd love to see some that you've made. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.